Welcome back, everybody. Another thing going on with the Maytag dryer just started acting up again. It's the Maytag Dependable Care Plus. But we have just a normal load of towels in here that didn't finish drying all the way, mainly because when we turned it on, it eventually started sounding like that. So I let it run a while, and there's a few things in there that are gonna have to probably be looked at. So I'm gonna turn that off now, but that's what the noise it was making. And then when I open up in here, it almost smells slightly like a little bit burnt belt. So something in there isn't running too smooth. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open it up and see what's going on. I had been in there underneath before to tighten these on from the outside part of the drum, and I noticed the belt was looking a little shoddy, so I had actually pre-bought a package of, I actually have the new belt here already, and new rollers that go on the back of the tub, and these are some kind of skid plate that goes underneath somewhere in there where we can't see right now. So I'm gonna go through and replace all that. There's one other thing that may be causing it, is the idler pulley, which I don't have in this packet that I bought. And so hopefully that's spinning freely, because if I'm in there, I might as well replace as much as I can. I don't remember where I bought it. I think I got it on Amazon. So I'm not exactly sure. But from there, I'm gonna disconnect everything and pull it out and get to work. Okay, so I have the dryer pulled away from the wall, got it unplugged, and I know I have to get under here under the door. I've done this part before, and there's a screw right there on each side of this that I have to get out to get this front panel off. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those out first. And then figure out how this thing comes off again. There's that screw, and then I'm gonna put those somewhere to where I can find them again. Eventually, might need them later. And I know there's a wire somewhere as this panel comes off that I need to be careful with. All right, so now you see the whole panel's breaking away from the side there. All right, let me look in here. If I remember correctly, I don't know if I pull up on it or what I have to do. How does this part come out again? Appears that there's, I might have to tilt it back. Let's see here. There it goes. Okay. All right. So I had to tilt it towards me to get it out. There's a tab there and a tab there that sits right under this lip here, right in back in here. So I had to tilt the bottom part out towards me to get that out. So let's see. I have to be careful now because, as you can tell, I'm not a professional. I have to be careful now because of this switch here, that I don't break those wires at any point. They're connected there. That goes into the light bulb. I probably shouldn't have touched that with dirty fingers. See all the dog hair in here. Cool. All right. So that's getting the panel off. And let me think about what I need to do next here, and I'll be started again. Okay, so I just wanted to show this a little closer. So I got the screws out of the bottom, 2 points. From there, I'm gonna grab the bottom part of the dryer and I'm gonna start pulling it out towards me. It's hard to get this on film. And then it's gonna tilt back into the top. Whoop, it clicks out. Hopefully I didn't cut any wires back there. So we will see. Check my wires. That's the importance of using both hands so you don't fray something else in your project and make more repairs for yourself. But anyway, that's how those pop off of there. All right, and then light bulb. I may eventually want to disconnect these wires to get this totally out of the way. I'm gonna see how this goes. Alrighty, I've been looking this over. So I'm gonna have to free this front panel up by taking off these bolts here and here on each side. There's a bolt there, and a bolt there, which should free up this whole rim all the way around. Have no idea what that's called, but I'm trying to get it off, so I'm trying to free it up. So to do that, I'm gonna clear out these wires first. There's the wires going into that switch there. There's a clip holding these wires in. So I'm gonna free that clip. There's a clip here holding the wires. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to free that one up. That way these can just stay in there without getting messed up, because these are connected all the way underneath and through to the back in here. So to do that, I'm just gonna mark a few things. I have a yellow marker. Hopefully it's working. I'll mark yellow here. So I know that's the yellow wire. They're probably all sized. Like this one looks a little bigger than this one, but I'm gonna mark them anyway. I'm not gonna mark the white, but for the gray, I'm just gonna use black over here. Put a little black on that and a little black on that. And then that way I kind of know where things go for my personal reconnections later on these. So I'm gonna start with this here. This I try to push these two in and pull, but on the other side of this is a flat plate, so I couldn't just pull it out and free it up. I would have to push it through. That's why I'm taking the wires off. But from that point there, come on, that one was tight. So from that point, now my door is almost free from the wiring, so I'll be able to move that out of the way. And then I'm gonna push this tab down. This is hard to do with. Or if I can just pull it out. It's kind of hard to do while holding a camera. Oh, don't cut the wire. Ooh, I'm gonna have to check that. I just hit that wire. I'm gonna put this down for a second. Let's see. Because I don't want to cut these wires and have to worry about an electrical fire. So let's see. Right there. Got the yellow a little. Yeah, so this stuff could be very dangerous. Careful when you work on stuff yourself. I think this sleeve should have been right where that connector is. Right in there. That way you have like tape around that area would probably be a good idea. That way you have less chances of cutting into your wires and causing electrical problems. Okay, so that part's off. So now the door is free. I can move that a little out of the way for now so I get it more out of the way. And then I'm gonna go up into this part, which I'm gonna have to free up this blue wire and this gray wire. And I'm filming all this too, so I'll be able to go back and look at it. That way, if I forget where something's at least I have it on film. So, otherwise you could probably just take pictures. Black here. I didn't have a gray marker, so I just happened to have blue and yellow for some reason. So I got those. So I'm gonna disconnect that from the light. I don't know if this one has a safety clip on it. The blue wire, at least I matched up in case that rubs off because it's not a Sharpie. Okay, so there's that harness. And then I'm gonna put this down again for a second. Well, maybe I can get this one out without hurting anything. That's scary. I don't like that. I don't know if this is gonna get it in the view, but I'm gonna try to place that there and free up these wires so I don't cut anything. Good. All right. So now all those wires are free. So now I don't have to worry about when I take this part off, I don't have to worry about that part getting caught up on anything. And then I just noticed one more wire down here that I need to take care of. The green wire, I assume it's the ground, but I don't know. That one's connected to the piece that I'm taking off, so I'm gonna leave that connected. So then there's the blue wire down here, which I will mark with blue. So this one I'll take off too. Okay, so now I don't want to forget any of these wires, but I'm sure it won't work if I forget something. So, and I don't want it to get cut on here when I move things around, so I'm going to put that one back here. This one I'm going to have to be careful with for now. Okay, so my next step is getting these off here and then going from there. And I'm gonna move this door before I knock it over. I keep bumping into it. All right. And for that part, I have some of my laundry in. See that? I'm gonna get it dry eventually. I think this is a 5/16. I've been wrong on the bolt sizes before, the nut sizes, so make sure you use the proper size. So those are loosened up. That one's loose. And okay, now to finish this part up. So 1, 2, and then I have 3 and 4 on the opposite end. So there's the big picture. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think. We'll see if it works. Part of the fun, right? All right. So that's a little stuck. I'm gonna move this out of the way. I'm gonna put this back up. I'm gonna try to put it up here. Okay. Try to get a view of this. Oh. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna finish loosening all these up. I should probably have a container to put all this in. So there's that side. 2. I'm gonna get a container in a minute. This side's pretty tight still. I have it pinched up a little bit. And I have to be careful. There's one. I've never done this before, so first run. Okay, so all 4 bolts are out. Okay, see that? Let me make sure you see that. The whole thing kind of floated. Now, I was looking earlier, and this part down here, where did I put my flashlight? This part down here, have to be careful for these wires here. Move them that way. This part here, I think, is the piece that's still connected down in here somewhere. Right in that. So I think I'm gonna pull on it and see what happens. It's kind of how things go. So I'm gonna put this here. Ooh. All right, let's see. See if I can get a view of that. Oh, look, that feels like it just popped right out. Oh, nice. Okay. I wasn't sure if that would come out too easy or not. So let me see if I can see what's going on here. There we go. That goes inside there. Looks like I could clean it out a little bit. Oh, and there's those pads I was talking about that I might need to replace that came in the kit, right? Let's see. These right here. I'll have to see if I want to do that. Okay, well, I guess everything could use a cleaning anyway, right? Oh, look at all that. This is an old dryer. That's probably a lifetime of fun. Yes. Oh, nice. Oh, okay. So from here, I'm gonna wash my hands, get my towels out that are part dry, and see where to go next. Okay, so now I'm thinking I got this front panel off. I'm thinking I might want to get the top maybe freed up so I get work back in there a little easier. So the bolts I was looking for, there's a bolt there, right there on the front corner, and on this front corner over here. And they're pretty long bolts, and I think, sorry, I'm showing a 3/8 on my socket, which I've been run on before. So those are long bolts, so what I'm gonna do, I had string up the top already. Look at that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these bolts out and then start from there. Okay, so I got those bolts out of each corner here. There's that side and that side. Looks a little bit like that. Well, that is the bolt actually. And there's some wires back in the back that we have to be careful for, it looks like. They go into the control module, or control brains, the brains of the operation. That would be that part up there. So I'm gonna tip this up. I have to hold on tight to it or else it's just gonna start to slide back and it could break those wires back there. So you gotta be careful on this part. Because I'm not quite sure what I want out of it yet. So I'm gonna put this here because I don't know if there's just a connection back here. Oop, you see that? I almost just did what I said not to do. That's not very cool. I don't like that at all. Of course, I could have cleared my shelf, so I didn't pull everything off with it when I tilted this up. You'd think there'd be an easier way for this. There's a little lip back there it sits on, so I'm gonna flip it up on top of that carefully. And it appears, ooh, this is gonna be tricky. That's all, there's no quick connect on this. Yeah, it's all hardwired in. So I'm gonna have to be very careful not to drop this. So there's the top of the machine. It's tilted totally back, and it appears this unit's so old, everything is hardwired. So I need to find a way to secure it without it. This is not fun. Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah, so be careful. I'll be back. 1 second. All right, so I think I got it kind of in a safe location. I'm pulling it towards me. It's kind of clipped on the back part and then up against my cabinet there. So I'm just gonna have to be careful with it. There was something interesting I noticed. It appears, I don't know if this is supposed to be that way, but my grooved belt, I don't know if you can see it or if we have the right shadowing, but my grooves are on the outside of the drum, which I don't know. I'm gonna have to look that up to see if that's proper. Because a few of the other ones looked like their grooves were like towards the barrel and towards the inside of the machine. This belt is definitely worn out. You can see it, all the spliced material in there. Looks like maybe part of the belt's still there, but not all of it. There's the underside. Yeah, so it definitely is gonna need to be looked at. So I need a picture of that back there so I can see how that pulley wraps around each piece. Hopefully that's a good shot of it, because I'm gonna have to repeat that somehow once I get it back in, and I'm gonna have to figure out which way the grooves actually go on this thing. All right, so from there I'm pretty sure I need to just pull this basket part out. So I'm gonna move that, put that there, and there. Okay, so that's the basket. So I'm gonna see if I can just pull it up and out of here with the belt on it. Oh yeah, this is easy. Belt. It's hard to tell. Yeah, these grooves are definitely pointed in the upward direction. I don't know if this was the best way to do this. I'm gonna have to be careful of all the elements below. Maybe if I just take it this way. I mean, it doesn't matter if this belt gets ruined, right? Oh, here we go. Can you see that? Well, I can't see it because I'm not looking at the camera right. Okay, so back in here, I'm tilting this back, and then I can see the belt here, right here in the back. So, oh yeah, I have the whole thing pulled over. Look at that. Okay. Let's see how it got tangled up down there. There, and then it's coming down this side. So I'm just gonna pull that off of there. Okay, so now that I have a closer look, maybe it appears the grooves are supposed to go that way on this model with the way this pulley wraps around. Can see how there's grooves in the pulley there? I'm assuming those grooves need to line up with that, so I guess this belt was actually on correct. Sorry about the echo. And then down here you can see a bunch of old belt that has been breaking off. Nice, cool. Well, the belt's definitely worn out. Let's see here. That actually spins pretty freely. That one spins pretty freely. I don't know if I'm gonna replace those yet. I mean, that looks good to me. So I might not do that yet. I probably could have just done the belt. If that pulley there's good, I probably could have just done the belt. I'm gonna check that pulley once I get this belt off. So I think what I'm gonna try to do, see, this can pull that way. I'm gonna move that over. This is hard. I guess I better get that just in case. I just want, oh man, there's something under there. Oh, what? Oh no, there's this piece here too. This is gonna be tricky. I'll see that down there. My filming is probably not too good right now. There's that little belt safety thing that we have to get it around too. Okay, that's gonna be hard to get back on. Anyway, gotten this far. I'm gonna flip that over like that, and hopefully I can repeat the process in reverse. Oh boy. Haha. Well, that part's out. That's the easy part, I'm sure. Getting things apart's usually the easy part. But that was like that. Oh man. Oh man, my idler pulley's really bad. See how stiff that is? I'm gonna probably need a new one of those. And I keep sitting on the drum. See how that doesn't spin free? Yep. If I can't get that cleaned up, I'm gonna have to buy a new one. See what it's about, because that is not good. Okay, so I'll be back later. Oh yeah, and I just wanted to show you how awesome my hands and dirty they look. Yeah, dirty awesome. Anyway, moving on. I think I'm gonna vacuum all that out too. Looks pretty bad. All right, so here's the belt. Yeah, it's definitely falling apart. The belt's definitely old. So either way, look at all that. I'm lucky it kept going that long, honestly. All right, so I just wanted to show you the belt. And I'm gonna clean this up a bit down here, see if I get this spinning more freely. And if I can't, I'll probably have to replace this part here, the idler pulley. All right. All right, vacuuming. See if it does it. Just in case anybody wanted to watch the vacuum. All right, I decided to get ahead and pull this pulley out to see if I could clean it up. So we have this spring right here that we have to disconnect. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to disconnect it at the same time that this camera pulls the balancing out. Oh. There it goes, so that spring is off, which leaves the pulley itself here. And then I checked the bolt that's holding that on, and I believe it's a 5/16. I believe it is, but I'm not positive. So I'll flip this over this way. Get under here, the bolt is, if you can see it after I pull that over, it's right there. Everything feels really greasy under here, so I don't know if this is just an older model and because it feels like it was greased, which it might need to be, I don't know. I'm not sure. So I'm gonna get that out. Let's see. So there's that bolt. Oh yeah, look at that. See, everything looks greased on this. So I'm wondering if it's supposed to be, I don't know, but I'm wondering if it's supposed to be a little sticky on this model. So there's, yeah, see the grease on there? It's almost like they put grease on it on purpose. I'm gonna look at this for a while, see if I can't clean it up. It's just interesting how they went about that. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. Yeah, little grease on there where it slides on the, so this is a slide, I'm assuming, that slides up against the metal piece down here, right along this side here under the motor. So I think it's supposed to slide up like that. That's probably why all this stuff is kind of greased a little bit. So now I'm getting grease everywhere. But I'm gonna check things out, see what's up. All right, after messing with this, the more I think about it, the more I'm just gonna leave it, because obviously I had somewhere down the line somebody put grease on it. I don't know if it was from the factory or somewhere else, but it's starting to spin pretty free. So I'm just gonna try using this piece again and see how it goes. But every once in a while when you spin it, you can hear it squeak. So I don't know if, I don't know if when that belt hits funny, if somebody had greased it up a little bit to keep it from doing that. I guess we'll find out when I put it back together. That's all you can do is try, right? So I am going to go without replacing this part, and I'm gonna see what happens. And all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop this back in now. Okay, so the more I look at this, the more I am thinking these teeth do go out on this model towards the outside of the machine. That's what I'm thinking, but we'll give it a run. So I'm gonna drape this over like the drums in here. Okay, so teeth are upward. So pretty much the reason I think that is because once I take this, I take this belt as if it's going around the drum. Teeth out. Okay. And I put the smooth ends onto this first pulley. Okay. And then from there, let's see here. I'm gonna have to move this a little bit. See if I can get this on there. Sorry. Okay. So the smooth ends are on that pulley, okay? And then I pulled this this side here around to where the teeth are on the motor gear. So it makes that little loop. So it makes a loop there. It's on the gear. Okay. And everything looks real tight at the moment. But when, I don't even know if I can get this on video or on film. But when I tighten this up, if this is coming under the barrel here and around, when I pull this one up and snug it up, you can see that pulley pull in. Can't see it from this angle. So I'm gonna try a different angle. See if I can get this to balance. Can't get it to balance. Maybe I will go for a full different view. Maybe I'll go from this side. Okay, so hopefully that's in the picture. Okay, so pulley's down there. Loop comes around. And I'm guessing this stays low. And as this pulls straight up to the barrel, it goes around like that. That's what I'm, of course, with me holding it, it's not solid, so it's gonna rub on stuff. But once that barrel is actually around, it's gonna hold it nice and tight. Right, probably right about there. So that's what I'm gonna try when I put it back in. So I'm gonna try it like that and see how it goes. So hopefully that got on there. And all right, so I forgot to do the model number. I'm sure it'll be in the description. So that's the model number of this washer. And there's the bag of goodies I got. I don't know if that's the company it was from. And that's most likely the number of the belt. Oh yeah, it's right there. See that? 312959, which matches the sticker. Okay, so I think I'm gonna wait for the wheels. But this kit came with wheels and new coast and everything. That would be for this part, but this part's running smooth, so I'm just gonna leave these ones for now. I'm going with the old pulley just to see, and I haven't decided on if I'm gonna put in the new skid plate yet or not. I haven't used a rivet gun, and I have one, and I'm kind of want to try, so I might do that later. But I'm gonna open the belt, and I'm gonna go from there and see how it goes. Okay, so the new belt naturally wants to flip so it goes teeth inward. Go figure. So I'm gonna turn it inside out, put on my shoe and kind of give some pressure to it and pull it through to see if I can keep it from twisting when I put it in. And hopefully it'll help shape it the other direction. For what I need. Okay. All right, so from there, let me get this. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have troubles with this belt twisting up a lot. So hopefully it's not too much of a pain, but here it goes. Let's get this part. Now, this is just not the best setup here. There for now, let's see. All the clinking and clanging, just what everybody wants to hear. Maybe I'll just flip it this way again and hope for the best. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it's already trying to twist back the other way. So this might be tricky. So I'm gonna loop this around the pulley first. And then, oh man, let's see. So I got the smooth side on the pulley. I'm gonna pull the whole thing over, both sides for that look there. Okay, and now it's time for the basket. You can see the wear I already put on it with my shoe. Oh well, you can always buy another belt. It's kind of an experiment anyway, right? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave it like that. That's the view I have of it. Belt around, teeth on the teeth, belt comes around. And then I'm gonna put in the basket part next. Let me get this. Professional photography here. Right there. Okay. Professionally not. But anyway. Like that. So I'm gonna try to keep the barrel going in pretty good. I'm keeping ribs up so I hit my teeth on my gear right. That's how it was on originally, so I'm gonna go with it. Because most likely it was proper, because it was working for years. Here comes the barrel, or basket, or whatever you want to call it. So what I'm gonna do from here, I think, I might get another view on this. Maybe a down view. Just like that. Okay, that may work. We'll see. So what I'm gonna try to do is keep that as lined as possible. I'm gonna tighten this up a bit. And what I think I wanna try to do I want to try to just kind of get this started by wrapping it around from the top. I don't know if that's, yeah, you saw that, right? Top. I'm going to try to wrap it on this first rim here so it gets underneath to see if we get it started in the right spot with the smooth side hitting the basket. Okay. So now I got it around that first rim there. Okay. I'm gonna start working it up to the first lip without it rolling. It's starting to try to roll on me. I can feel it, so I have to be careful. Just as long as the belt doesn't flip. Oh, the belt flipped there, got it back. So now I'm working it into, hopefully you can see that. Went from that rim over the lump into the second groove. Right here. So far so good. I'm gonna work that around and down to the bottom. Trying not to let it flip on me. All right, from there I'm gonna lift that up and see if I can set it kind of where it belongs. Good. I have to be careful now because I'm pushing things everywhere and this isn't secure. So what I'm gonna do is put my hips against it. See, this side is kind of bound up. This side's already in the slot. So I'm gonna turn it clockwise for me, and then hopefully that piece starts to set in where it belongs. I am off over here. Oh my, I'm in the right spot. Let me look in here. Oh no, that's why I'm not on the wheel. There we go. Okay, now I'm on the wheel. Make sure you're on the wheels on the back side of the washer. There we go. Okay, so now I have it spinning smooth with it in the groove. Okay, from there, my teeth are still up. Nothing's binding up. Now I'm gonna try to spin it and get this belt to get on where it used to be. So I don't know what way I want to go first, but I'm gonna have to pull one side up. Now I'm gonna go this way first to see if I get that to drop in on my left. There it goes. Now it's on the pulley. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull it this way towards me. Now I'm gonna go clockwise to let the side that's not clicked in yet to right in the right spot. Okay, so far so good. It's a little juggling act. So I'm teeth up. Everything feels smooth so far. So I went with how I found it, and that's probably the wise decision, being that once I looked at the pulley, that's probably the only way it'll work on this machine. So make sure you have the right model number and know what you're doing with your belt. We'll of course give it a test run on video just to see if anything explodes. Belt's breaking or something binds up, you know, the fun stuff. But that feels pretty good so far. And I also labeled the front when I pulled it out. Just so I could kind of keep it consistent of how it was, which I think, I honestly don't know if you could put it in backwards, but I labeled it, and plus this is the more worn side for mine. All right, so I'm gonna figure out where to go next, but it feels like I have the belt in good. Feels like everything's riding smooth. I have the basket on the wheels underneath. Down in there, it's on the wheels. So I think the next thing I'm gonna have to do is pop on the front of it back on and make sure that top, see how I push that up? It's about to fall on me, so I'm gonna have to reset everything. That's tilting towards me. So I'm gonna go get some parts and put it back together. Hey, Roddy. I'm back, and I was inspecting this skid plate thing, and it's about to go. So I was thinking that I should probably remove that and put on the new pieces that came with that kit I had. And that's part number 306508. Hopefully they work well. So the first thing I have to do is I have to get these rivets out of there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip this side, and I'm going to place this here. Move everything out of the way. And right here is the back side of the rivet. So I'm gonna take my drill. I got a drill bit a little larger than the head of that. And I should, as I start drilling, it should eventually pop that loose. I want to be careful not to hit the metal of the actual, I don't know if it'll matter, but I'm trying not to drill this piece just to keep its original form. There it went. It started to pop loose. Yeah, popping loose. I guess. Should be real close. Head's moving. So is the camera. I don't know. You would think that would be enough. But that's like right there. I'm gonna do that one. Yeah, it's just spinning it now. Okay, so I'm gonna drill out the other one. Have to make sure these metal shards don't get in anyone's feet or my puppy dog's feet. That would be sad. So have one of those on each side. What? Oh, that was cool. Did you see that? Nice. Broke the drill bit. Craftsmanship is awesomeness on these. Look at that. Maybe I'll try a different drill bit. That one doesn't seem to want to work. So let me see. Okay, we'll try the next size down, being that that's what I have handy. Hopefully I don't break this one too. Let's see. Drill my finger or something. Yeah, those are just spinning. That's interesting. I wonder if there's another way to do this. Well, let me figure some stuff out. Just a sec. Okay, I'm gonna try a screwdriver. This is the one I drilled out partly, so I'm just gonna knock the camera over. That was awesome. That one came out. There we go. So I could pull these pieces out there. Once this, should be able to get that the rest of the way out eventually. Good. There, got that piece. Got that piece. I don't know if this one got far enough. I'm gonna put the screwdriver in there and twist it. Yep, got far enough. I didn't expect that to work after breaking a drill bit and everything. And then this side, I'm just gonna take pliers and pull that out. Hopefully, see, I'm just gonna do this and after 1,000 tries. Or maybe I can punch it through this way. Gravy. See how easy that is? It's as easy as 1, 2, 3 hours later. Yeah, that one's still kind of stuck, so I'm gonna drill that out a little more. There it goes. Make sure to keep all the metal pieces out of where your dryer's gonna be. Good. Okay, so got the rivets out. Little extra work. Note that the extra edge comes out towards us on this. Well, when I'm looking from this side, the flat edge goes towards the wall, just like that one. Flat edge toward the wall. The edge with the lip comes out towards me. So I'm gonna place this right here. I'm gonna pull these out. So that's what that looks like. I wish this peat was still good. This is when they made stuff better. Look how thick that cork is. I might use the old cork actually. Because that's pretty good. Here's the new one. Let's see what this does. Got that. There. And there. And there. So there's those pieces. And these pieces. There's the new rivets. I've never used a rivet gun, so I'm kind of excited. Have an antique. So I assume, well, I don't assume, but I'm gonna put that piece through there, bend it over, put this piece in. Oh man, is that gonna fit? Let me see. Man, this one was worn out if it's supposed to be bowed that much. Oh, I can't even get it in there. There it goes. Sort of. It's like this one's having difficulties. I wonder if that's supposed to be bowed out like that. Okay. I don't know if it goes flatter than that, but I guess you just put it on there and hope for the best, right? I bet it kind of flattens out on its own over time. There we go. It'll go there. And this piece goes in above it. There's that side. Wrap it over. Push it in. Oh boy. The excitement of it not working is awesome. Maybe I need a little more. Maybe if I push them in together. Good gravy, that's tight. Oh, there it goes. That's as far as I'm getting it in. Oh boy. I might want to look this up. That's like as far as I'm getting it in there right now. Well, trial and error, right? That's how you learn things. Let's see. So that would go like that. This is harder than it looks. And it probably looks pretty hard at the moment. Guess I'm gonna do one side at a time and squish it down. So there's that rivet. This one I can't even get to. So somehow okay, I can get to this one. This is going to be the longest video ever. I mean, I'm almost afraid to start that rivet until I can get this other side in over here. Because right now I can't seem to fit it in there. Let me see if I do that. Oh, maybe I should have done that. Put one side in like that. So maybe I should put one side in like so. I wonder, well, if I have to order another one, I have to order another one, right? Push that in as far as I can. Boy, oh boy, I don't know if that's gonna work either. Once I push that in, this side doesn't want to go in. This is ridiculous. This is hard. This is hard to do. Let me see. I might use the old one just so it fits. Pull that down. Push that in. Come on. Get at that blue thing. I don't even know if I'm on the right thing right now. Struggling. Good gravy. Okay, so I kind of got this one. It's going to take some work to get it in there. I made it pretty tight. So that one's in there. I guess I could use my pliers on this too. See, this part's not easy so far. I'm going to just give this a little tug. Hopefully I don't break anything. Ow. Including myself. I think if I didn't cut that out already, I'd probably have second thoughts on doing this. Know what I mean? Let's see. Because it's not being cooperative. Okay, I'm gonna see if there's any way. Oh, I got it. Good. Ooh, that took work. So those two pieces are kind of in there. See that? Man. That was crazy. So then, now for the part I've never done before, which could be exciting. I'm gonna leave that bowed, and once I get the pan in there, it's gonna push it down and hopefully it levels out on its own. So I'm gonna get this here, and this is an old hand riveter. It's like a classic. Yes. But we're gonna give it a try, see if it still works. Has different size holes you can use. I don't know if that's the right size, so I'm gonna see if it fits in there. And so far it fits. So then, from what I've seen, you push it in. Whoa. Okay, it's pushed in. So it clicked once I got it in far enough. So I just kind of slid it on there. Hopefully it saw that. And then from there, I assume you just pull it. Oh yeah, you can see it start to pull it in. Look at that. Nice. Let's see if I can get that. I'm gonna use my other hand here. So I'm squeezing the handle. Hopefully this works. And supposedly it didn't break. I must have an old version, because some of them say it snaps it off, but this one doesn't seem to have done anything. It doesn't even look tight enough. Weird. Oh well. It's stuck. That's what you get for using old-fashioned. Maybe it just, I don't know what to do now. You can't push it back in. It doesn't feel tight, which kind of is a bummer. Maybe I'll just keep doing that. Maybe it'll grab. Oh boy. Why me? Come on, break! There, okay, hopefully now it opened back up. Okay, got it. So now it's all the way open with it in there, so maybe it'll break now. Okay, now I'm squeezing again. It's an old one, I guess. Oh, there it went. Broke. Oh, there it is. I might have it too tight of a grabber. There it goes. So that rivets in. Wow, that only took 20 minutes. Not bad. Maybe an upgraded riveter, but this is what was available. So that's what I used. May have to, so there's that. So open all the way, I guess slides it in better. So there's that. What's this looking like? It's still showing. And pull. Oh, that one worked easier. Okay. And then it kicked it out right away too. Look at that. Okay, so what it does is on this model old, what's happening is kind of holds that once it gets in there. And then if I open the handle, let me get this far enough away, all the way, then it releases it. So there's those two pieces. And the installed new slip plate. I will not torture you with filming of the other side. See you when I put things back together. Okay, so I just wanted to show you something. This rivet came out so much easier on this side. It was more of what it probably should have looked like in the first place. And so hopefully it does the same thing on this one. But it just came right out on that one. It just popped right through. It was crazy. Let's see if it works. Just like that. Boom. Left a piece on there. Don't touch that metal piece. It's hot after you drill it like that, because I burnt my finger on the first one. So let it cool off. All right, that's the easy way. All right, so there's the two new pieces that, I don't know if they're called glides or what they are, but that's what the basket on this side right here. There's the barrel or the basket. This part sits on there. That's why all those wear marks are on there. Okay. So I probably should have gotten felt and everything for this too, but, or whatever this stuff is. Put in new stuff, but I didn't. Because we needed dry stuff. So I'm gonna flip this around. Get try to get everything aligned here. So I don't know where to put this. Because I have to get the lint trap and the heat exhaust into there. Like so. Whoops. And then I need to get, see if I could do this. Hold the camera and push this up. Okay, so there it went. That side went under the basket. This side's under the basket. Good. And then I'm gonna try to make sure the felt is on the outside of the basket. Good. That part's going together good so far. Okay. So then there's little itty bitty tabs back in behind this bend here. I'm gonna lift this to align that hole with that hole. Hopefully I can get it up. So the tab caught on that one. Tab caught on that one. Make sure that's in. Okay, I need to lift this side up, you think? Uh-oh. Yeah, I might have bent this one. There we go. Okay, so that tab's on. Good, okay. So that piece is back together. It feels loose. Hopefully it tightens back up. as long as that part under there is sealed up. That's what matters. Okay, so next, to put this back together, got my felt all the way around. This fell out earlier to put that back in. The felt's there, good. I don't feel it on this side. It's in the right spot there. I don't know if you can see that. Okay. And if I push that in, it goes in the right spot. Good. Okay. So I'm gonna get 1, 2, 3, 4 put back on. What I probably should do before I do that, I probably should get this top pulled back down and get these bolts in case it's too tight. So I'll probably pull this down first. Put that there. There's a little ledge here that when I drop this back, that ledge, ow, sharp, careful. There's that little lip there. Oh, careful with the wire. Okay, so see how that sits in there? So that lip is over that lip. Wires are clear. And hopefully everything lines up. Looks like it. Okay. All right, so put these bolts in first. Get the top secure, then I'll put these back in. And then we'll get all the wires connected back up. And then we'll see what happens. All right, on the way. Okay, got that bolt back in on the top part. Got that bolt back in. Got that one in. Got that one back in. That one, that one. Remember the blue wire from the bottom. I'm gonna feed these wires back through. I'm gonna try to put the tape in that little piece right there. I'm gonna try to put the tape on it. So let's see, I'll put this down for a second, do that, maybe it will get it. Open that up. Got the tape piece in there, good. And then I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna put the blue back in the blue. Put the gray back on the gray. For the black markings that I did. Good. Okay, there's that. And then I'll pull this back over. And that, I'm gonna try to put the piece of tape right there again. I'm filming nothing right now because this is harder than it looks with one hand. There it went. Clipped in. Good. Yellow goes to the yellow. Let me see. White goes to the back one. Gray goes to there. Gray's easy because it's like the small piece. Yellow goes like so. Connected, connected, connected. Oop, I just pulled that. Connected, connected, and connected. Okay. So now, make sure those are back behind there, good. Back underneath. Behind the panel. As I get these tabs back behind this lip. Tabs lip. So there's I don't think I'm gonna be able to get this on film. I might be able to from here. Let's see. Oh, I am tired. Make sure the cords are in the back. Good. Tilt this back, get it up in there. Don't pinch your fingers. Cut myself a few times already on this project on sharp metal pieces. And my wires so far are clear. Good. Good, good, and good. Okay. So there's that. Now I need to put the screws in the bottom. And then the screws that go on the bottom parts down here and here. Then I'll give it a test later. Oh, so far. Okay. Everything's connected back up. I'm going to put the original load of laundry in to see. That way it's the same load that was in there. And now for the part that matters. Let's see what happens. Please don't make any noise. Oh dear. I'm gonna start it. Huh? That's the crinkling of that. Doesn't sound like it's doing what it did earlier. We'll see if it works. But there you have it. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. And if you liked it, give it a like. And feel free to subscribe if you'd want to also. And hopefully this helps you out. Something still sounds a little funny, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna let it run a while. It might be the idler pulley. Thank you for watching. I'll let you know if that belt most likely is the proper direction, or else it probably wouldn't even be spinning. So let's try again. Yeah, it sounds like the pulley. Did I put the spring on the pulley? Yes, I did. Everything probably needs to settle in too, so we'll give it some time. And thank you for watching. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes, and now listen to it. So it sounds like everything's settled in. Nice and smooth. So it looks like a success. Please remember to like and subscribe, and if you enjoyed it or this video helped you at all, please don't give a thumbs down. You can leave a comment if you would like. Have a good day. Thank you for watching.